Hi, I'm Greg from RVHaulers. I'm going to make a video. I've got a few questions and we've got a bit of a demo we want to do for Dawn and Marc, the owners of the RV hauler that's behind me named Drift. Well, Joe, our shop foreman, has been doing some wiring inside of the Drom box, and I wanted to run a couple options past you. Joe will probably explain it, but I'll introduce what's been going on. What we've been doing now is creating a junction box inside the Drom box. We've got everything brought in the back of the Drom and through this grommet and into this junction box. So we've got signal, marker, brakes, and even power and ground into this box, and we need it for a variety of reasons. As you can see, we've got our LED signal lights running. They are super bright. And temporarily, we also have our blinding LED flood lamps. Those are floods, so they have a really wide angle of dispersion on them. We've got two of those hooked up here on the Drom. There's the other guy. And Joe is his usual self. You'll see that everything, grommets and nice wiring, everything tidy, tie wrapped together and mounted. But we've got a couple questions for you about the LED lights. Now this is the LED that we're going to be using. You'll see on the back it's a 3M adhesive. It's really good stuff. And this is actually an LED light strip that is for exterior use, even though it's going inside the Drom box. So this is going to be going in behind. It's going to be going kind of protected back in here. It'll be mounted inside there, so it's kind of away from all the objects that are going to be stored on the shelves. So they shouldn't be able to bump and get down into this divot. But that LED strip lighting is going to be placed in behind there. We're going to have a switch inside the Drom box here for toggling the LED lights on. But our question, and I'll let Joe explain this, is about those big floodlights.
Okay, so the question that we have for the owner is where, or for whoever has the answer, maybe somebody else has a good answer, is where we should locate the switch for the floodlights. Now, we were thinking about putting it in this area, which we've done in the past. However, if you're fueling up, there's a chance you could knock it and turn it on accidentally. It may not be the best location. Or we could mount it further up. However, the problem is on the other side is E-track in there for tying down items which need to be stored. So there's a problem with the wiring being just in the way. So then we're wondering if it might be better to locate it inside the jockey box, perhaps, or maybe inside of one of these boxes down in here.
In addition to our Drom box questions, we've been doing quite a bit of research over the last few days into our gray water storage question that we posed to a whole bunch of folks on the internet. Thanks again for all of the great ideas. And we've kind of blended two of them together. We got a comment from a watcher in YouTube suggesting that in the bottom of this Drom box we could put the tank in there. Of course, that's a big space, and we could certainly get 100 gallons inside of there. Another comment, thanks to Marc, actually the owner of Drift, was to look at, because he's a pilot, he was familiar with fuel bladders. What they are is, a fuel bladder is really, it looks like a big giant pillow, and it's made for transporting fuel temporarily on boats or planes or what have you. The material is appropriate for fuel, and I contacted the manufacturer, one of the largest ones in the United States, and what they came up with is they have a material that's specially suited to gray and black water tanks. So they've got, I'll bring the camera around, a couple options for us. I think the one we're most excited about is they have proposed a bladder, a giant pillow, that is going to be about 6 feet long, 32 inches wide, when full, this pillow, this bladder, is 1 foot high, and it will hold 100 gallons. Just what we're looking for. And Mark's foresight, of course, is he put these tie downs in. We've got these tie downs also underneath those ramps. There's another set of D-rings. We've even got D-rings down there. We could easily tie one of those bladders on top of the bed. And the cool thing is, I don't need any electronic monitoring. It's pretty obvious when that thing's getting full. And we've got gravity for really getting rid of the fluid. So the pillow that they've designed will have an inlet on the top, a handle, a ball valve. You'll be able to use the macerator pump on the trailer to fill this thing. As it fills up, you'll be able to visually see at your trailer, hey, stop, we're done. Now when we transport this thing, what the manufacturer suggested is that we get a good quality cargo net that goes over top. And they've also designed a 2-inch outlet, and it's going to be right down here on this corner, again with a big nice handle. So you would hook up a 2-inch hose, and it would come down to whatever dump station you're parked next to, and you would gravity feed the water out of this tank. Now we could use a macerator pump as well. There are some ones that could twist on, and of course we've got power right there in the Drom box. We'd be able to put a power outlet. But I think that solution of a bladder is going to be a great one. We don't lose any storage on the truck. We don't have to be kneeling down in the dirt or the gravel at the back of the truck. The other cool thing about this is it collapses. When that thing gravity feeds and it sucks all that moisture out of that bladder, it becomes just a big flat balloon. And you can fold it up a bunch of times. And we'll probably include a really nice crate or a box to protect it. Something that'll, of course, fit on one of the shelves in the Drom or in one of the toolboxes. Oh, and Joe reminded me of one more thing I wanted to mention. We've been looking at the doors on our Drom box. Of course, this one is tall as we can make it. It's 7 feet tall to go on this Volvo 730, the lower sleeper. The 780 or 670 model trucks will be able to make a taller Drom now. We're going to try to make them 8 feet tall. We found a steel supplier that's going to charge us the same amount. So we've just got a little bit more labor and welding, but we'll might even be able to fit an extra shelf in there. But looking at these big doors that we've got on our Drom boxes now, we realized when we were outside in the wind one day, they're a wind catcher. So what Joe has proposed is we're going to get some gas struts so that the doors can open and make sure that they hold open. They don't close back on you, but also that they won't go too far and create a dent from other parts of the truck that they might be exposed to. Anyways, sorry that's a lot of talking on my part. I'm Greg from RV Haulers. Again, I really appreciate the great comments that we got in some of our last videos. If you have some ideas or comments on this one, please let us know. Of course, the most important comment we're going to be getting is from Dawn and Marc. It's their truck. What they want is going to overrule what the other people think. But throw your comments out. Let's see if we can get some ideas on how we're going to handle some good switching on these lights. Thanks for your time.